call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac.
Here.
Ms. Renee.
Here.
Mr. Wardell.
Here.
Mr. Kosis.
Here.
Mrs. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Calhoun.
Here.
Mayor Brown.
Here. Notice requirements, chapter 231, public law 1975 has been satisfied by a publication of said notice in the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster, and by filing a copy with the deputy municipal clerk. Everybody please join me in flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First order of business tonight is communications, and is council minutes from April 8th, 2019. Council's pleasure.
So offered.
Offered by Ms. Renee,
Second.
second by Mr. Kosis. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Received, thank you. And we have the April 2019 Neptune City Police Report.
April 2019, submitted herewith is the April 2019 monthly report for the Neptune City Police. Total calls for service, 1,103 April 2019 to 1,057 April 2018. DWI arrests 2019 3, April 2018 4. Traffic accidents 13, April 2018 23. Narcotics incidents 11, April 2018 16. Violation of borough ordinances 19, April 2018 32. Arrests 42, April 2018 55. And motor vehicle summonses 269, April 2018 288. 7 officers attended additional training courses. And the Neptune City Police officers participated in a grant sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. The purpose of this traffic enforcement detail was to combat distracted driving. Between April 1 to April 21st, 2019, officers working in this detail conducted 155 motor vehicle stops and issued 120 summonses for various violations.
Thank you. Mr. Council's pleasure.
So offered.
Received and followed by Ms. Renee,
Second.
second by Mr. Wardell. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Received, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick presentation this evening. I know it's not on the agenda, but we're gonna do a quick presentation. I'm gonna invite up the United Fire Company No. 1's president, Mr. Ed Sims.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's been a lot of social media going on, and I'd like to clarify this. Contrary to the concern of the public and the social media, the members in question, which I believe you all know, that were supposedly being said they were thrown out, are still members. The company membership, most, are still in favor of this. They're members. Meanwhile, and I say again, the members in question are still on the rolls of the Neptune City Fire Department as members. And any questions of the bylaw, constitution involved, they're being rectified. That's all I got.
Thank you. Just real quick, and you know, we're not gonna question him or anything like that, just a quick comment about Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims has been the president of the United Fire Company for 21 and a half years right now. So he's a real stand-up guy. Thank you for coming up tonight and making that statement on behalf of the fire company.
Thank you.
Now we will go to public participation for agenda items. Does anybody from the public wish to be heard on any of the agenda items? I will make just one comment, so when we get to the agenda, if the budget is introduced tonight, it will be available on the website tomorrow. Pretty early in the morning, you'll get it scanned in, we'll get it up on the borough website. And then the public hearing on that, when the public can come and be heard on that budget, give them time to review it. As long as we get it back from the state, will be June 10th, will be the hearing and adoption, if it gets adopted that evening. Okay?
No, it's over.
Oh, is it about the agenda items?
Is that budget on the agenda, like a little, just a question about how it works?
No, that's what I just said, it will
No,
be
no,
on the.
no, I just don't understand when, the steps, tell me again how.
Okay, so what happens is it gets introduced, if it gets the votes tonight to get introduced.
Oh, so you'll
This-
actually be voting on it?
Yeah, so if it gets introduced tonight,
Uh-huh,
it then, we'll post it on the borough website.
uh-huh,
It then goes to the state. And then the state reviews it, that's how they do it every year. There's a minimum of 28 days of review before we could actually have the public hearing and adopt it. So the public hearing right now would be set for June 10th.
so a public hearing would then be, to discuss what you've introduced?
Correct,
Okay, and then you
Alright.
vote on it after the public talk,
correct.
okay.
All right, that was Kelly Strass's,
Sorry. Do you need my address?
please,
3 Overbrook Place.
got it? Yeah, anybody who speaks, just please, when you mention your name and your address, just please be clear for the record, thank you. Mr. Cicino, you have anything for us this evening? Board of Education
Board
President?
of Education, we're moving right along. Jobs have been posted, as I guess everybody well knows, that we're losing our chief school administrator and our business administrator. The jobs have been posted and we're in the process of receiving applications. Once the applications are received, we will go into the vetting process as a whole board to pick the next candidates.
Okay, thank you. And could you, while we have a pretty full room, could you tell everybody when the next Board of Education meeting and date and time?
The next Board of Education meeting was scheduled, I'm sorry to say, was scheduled for the 23rd of this month. It has been changed because of graduations and that kind of stuff. We're going to have it on Tuesday, I believe, Tuesday's the 28th.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
rescheduled for Tuesday the 28th.
And the
And
time
that'll be
is
on the board, and time is at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, okay.
And it'll be posted on the board, I guess, starting tomorrow. It'll be updated to the proper date.
Okay, thank you. We will now go to, there is no old business, we'll go right to new business. Resolution 19-95, payment of bills. Somebody like to offer that?
I'll offer that.
Offered by Mrs. Lewis,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Calhoun. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac,
Yes.
Ms. Renee,
Yes.
Mr. Wardell,
Yes.
Mr. Kosis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun.
Yeah.
Resolution's adopted, thank you.
Resolution 19-96, ordinance 2019-02, introduction to establish a cap bank.
Anyone
offer that?
offered by Mrs. Lewis,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Zajac. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac,
Yes.
Ms. Renee,
Yes.
Mr. Wardell,
Yes.
Mr. Kosis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun.
Yes.
Resolution's adopted, thank you.
Excuse me. Resolution number 2019-97, resolution authorizing the Borough of Neptune City to enter into an agreement with the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Cooperative Pricing Council for the purchase of provisions and performance of goods and services.
Thank you. Would somebody like to offer that?
So offered.
Offered by Ms. Renee,
Second.
seconded by Mrs. Lewis. Any questions? Anytime we go into these co-ops and corporate, you know, it can help when we go to spend money, we get a better deal. It's just in the best interest of the taxpayers. Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Zajac,
Yes.
Ms. Renee,
Yes.
Mr. Wardell,
Yes.
Mr. Kosis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun.
Yes.
Resolution's adopted. Thank you.
Resolution number 2019-98, resolution to refund tax overpayment.
Somebody like to offer that?
I'll offer that.
Offered by Mrs. Lewis,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Wardell. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac?
Yes.
Ms. Renee?
Yes.
Mr. Wardell?
Yes.
Mr. Kosis?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun?
Yes.
Resolution's adopted, thank you.
Resolution 2000, I'm sorry, wrong one, excuse me. Resolution 2019-99, governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records and employment decisions under Title VII of Civil Rights Act of 1964.
I'd like to offer that.
Offered by Ms. Renee,
Second.
second by Mr. Kosis. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac?
Yes.
Ms. Renee?
Yes.
Mr. Wardell?
Yes.
Mr. Kosis?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun?
Yes.
Resolution's adopted, thank you. Can you read it by title?
Okay. Resolution number 2019-100, Borough of Neptune, City, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, approving introduction of the municipal budget for the year 2019.
I'd like to offer that.
Offered by Ms. Lewis,
Second.
second by Mr. Calhoun. Are there any questions?
I have questions.
Mr. Zajac?
I wasn't able to make the budget workshop, and I see that we've added this participatory budget capital project in here for $120,000. Can somebody explain to me what that is?
I'd be glad to. It's mostly to promote civic engagement with all the residents in town. What it is a lot of the big cities are doing it for like millions of dollars. Freehold Borough is doing it for $200,000. We're offering it for just $20,000. And basically what it is for the residents of Neptune City to introduce different projects, capital projects that they might want to do that don't require upkeep, throughout the years. Some examples might be like say kayak rafts, or say like a solar water fountain in Freedom Park, or different ideas that they might have, and present those ideas to the residents of the town. And then the residents actually vote on those projects, where they would like to see that $20,000 go each year towards whichever project.
So it's $20,000 a year for 6 years or 5 years?
We have it for 5 years. Yeah.
The CFO recommended a 6-year for the capital budget.
The only reason I bring it up is I've never seen it on our budget before, any extra monies to the budget. I don't know, the way I feel, our number one responsibility as council people is to be fiscally responsible to the residents. I'm thrilled that it's a zero tax rate increase to the residents, but I don't know how I feel about adding monies to the budget for this, I don't want to say slush fund, but that is what it almost feels like to me. That's just my opinion.
Thank you. Anyone, any other questions?
I made my objections public last time at the hearing. I'm not going to bring it up again.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Zajac?
No.
Ms. Renee?
Yes.
Mr. Wardell?
No.
Mr. Kosis?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Calhoun?
Yes.
Okay, resolution is adopted. It will be posted on the borough website tomorrow. The public hearing will be on June 10th, and we'll wait to hear back from the state. If we do not hear back from the state, we will notify you. We may postpone it. I know we can do a public hearing and not adopt it that same evening. We've never done that. I'm not gonna, I don't like that idea. I think if it's gonna be public hearing, I think it should be adopted that night if it's going to be adopted. So, keep your eye out, keep your eye on the borough website, watch the newspaper. But it should be June 10th. Thank you. Now we will go to public participation for anyone from the public wishing to be heard on any and all questions or comments. Sure, go ahead. Becca, Kelly.
Oh, Kelly Strass is 3 Overbrook Place. I guess I won't ask my question about the budget yet that I had. I wanna know about TFH. Did anybody hear any updates from TFH?
No, no, they're,
Nothing?
no. They don't need to update us, nor will they, I don't believe anymore. Yes?
Colleen Christie, 79 Lincoln Avenue. I believe at the last meeting, we were told an email was sent to them.
Yeah, they're not
Requesting
required
update?
to, yeah, they're not required to update us on anything. They are abiding by the law, and I guess, you know, they've decided that they're gonna,
Not
they'll
respond.
let me, they'll update me, I guess, when they want to. Yes,
My name is Robert Fusco. I'm on 55 Laird Avenue. About the nylon smell, the TFH place, I think it's pretty obvious that the law is not working right now. So if they are in accordance with the law, I think with the smell that's going on, it's quite clear that no one's comfortable with this.
so,
And we need people to actually like challenge this and not just accept it, because as far as I'm concerned, they haven't been good neighbors for well over a decade. When I came here in 2016, I talked about the air quality. I came here in 2017, talking about the air quality, this time with open public records, environmental rights as far as what we are entitled to know as a community. I left documents on the table up there. I left my number. I didn't hear from anybody. Nobody called me, nobody collaborated with me. These people have been polluting the air since 2007. This is on record. They haven't done anything to change their act. While going outside, riding a bike, it sucks. It's vomit inducing. Maybe 2 weeks ago on a Monday afternoon, it's beautiful out. Had the door open, screen door. Couldn't enjoy the nice breeze because it smelled disgusting. I'm incredibly disappointed. We can get 9 people up here to fight tooth and nail for us for clean air. Something all of us, we can all agree on. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. We can't get all of you people up there and make 2 phone calls a day to this guy and say change your act or get out. I'm just incredibly disappointed in everyone up there as far as TFH is concerned. That's all I gotta say.
thank you. You haven't been to the meetings in the last several months, but we have been going back and forth for several months with them. You know, we've been advised on our legal rights, we've met with them, they have legal rights, and it is now really a legal issue with TFH. You know, we have, as we've said multiple times now, this governing body's job, we can only act in the boundaries of the law. And that was, our attorney explained that multiple occasions. We gave the residents options, and that's where we are with it. Sorry if you feel disappointed, but
No, hang on, because let's be
well,
honest here.
don't hang on me,
Okay.
I mean, I'm,
All right, I just don't want you to move on to the next one, because there's something really important here that I felt like hasn't gotten across just yet. Now, there's a time in our country, in the law, where women couldn't vote. There was a law at one point in our country where African Americans had to sit back the bus. The law needs to change, you know what I'm saying? It evolves over time. Just because this is right and they're in accordance with it, doesn't mean it's working for the people. I'm telling you, the law needs to change. If it's in accordance and that's accepted, that's not acceptable as far as I'm concerned. Nobody knows what you're breathing in. Nobody up there can tell me what we are breathing in, okay? We have no idea if anything up there is bisphenol A. I suggest everybody read about BPA. It's an endocrine disruptor, and that is known. We don't know what's going on with this place when they're not being inspected by independent parties, when we don't have, access to information. When we have people once again say, hey, we're within law, that's that. I understand there's only so much you can do when the law tells you that's that. But we can't wipe our hands of this anymore. They've been doing it since 2007. Now, where is it gonna stop? They have no qualms about this air. They have no qualms about it, and they keep doing it. Are they gonna start changing the water and dumping stuff in water? Is the soil contaminated? They're not gonna stop. And the people need to understand that if we don't keep pushing, they're gonna keep pushing. And enough's enough. The air is disgusting, and you all know it. So let's do something about it. And just not say the law works, because it's not. You know it's not working. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be Facebook groups if the law worked. That's all I'm saying.
okay. Well, again, I haven't seen you in here for a while, and I did talk to you a while ago. And you haven't been in a while, so to make the accusation, again, Ms. Fusco, that we've done nothing. I've had multiple meetings with them, we've discussed it, many people have come to the meetings, listen, I don't disagree with you, but this governing body has a legal obligation. We can only do so much. I'm not allowed to get pitchforks and torches and go over there, you know, I've tried everything, and everybody who comes to these meetings, you know, every 2 weeks, you know, we've had multiple meetings with them. They're not all pleasant, and trust me, I am not their big fan. It's very clear. The attorney and the administrator were with me. We had our last meeting with them and their attorneys. Trust me, it's not that we're not doing anything. We are doing what we are allowed to do by law. That's our job as this governing body. We are not allowed to do any more. As private citizen, you have a lot more rights to do something different. It's not our job to do that. So that's where you have your voice, you know, get out there. I know some people got organized, and that's the approach we have to take. You know, I'm not happy about the smell, but as the mayor of the town, I can only do so much by the guidelines of the law before I put the town in a legal battle, which they have way more legal funds than we do. They have no problem, and if they are operating by the guidelines of the law, and they are inspected. We've been going over this for quite a bit. I've got all kinds of documentation. They are inspected.
By independent parties, I'm just trying to make sure, because I think it's important to understand who's in the inspection as well.
Yeah, they're inspected by federal agencies that inspect them.
Yeah, independent ones, okay, that's fine. I'm saying if they're all up to snub on stuff, that's great, but it doesn't help the fact that the air is bad.
And I'm not saying it doesn't smell.
And now it's, you know, a shame that he would fight, or whoever it is, you know, assuming the company, whether it's one person or a board of people, that they would ultimately push back and utilize the money they have to go to court with us about saying it's okay to pollute the air. What does that tell you about the neighbors?
Well, they've done a lot.
Suggestion that if we just don't, we're not gonna, because they have the funds.
They have done a lot. They've done a lot. They've added a lot.
It's been going on since 2007. They haven't done much.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
I know, and it's a shame.
Sorry. Yes.
Maureen Brown, 46 Ridge Place. On the DEP website, last April, they had multiple violations.
Okay.
They've only been inspected once in the last 5 years. I talked to James Farrell-Pelly from DEP.
Okay.
They installed 11 Haitian plastics machinery injection molders with the rapid grinders, 11 of them without a permit. They put one Hub City mixer, injection molding kettles, land hung machinery mixers, 200-ton extruding presses. They installed 3 drying silos and a grinder. Now, mind you, their permits, PCP 110002, their other sub-permits, GEN 11001, 002, 003, and 004. Right now, they have been expired since 9/13 of 16.
Okay,
They don't
and
have
that's
a current-
through
they do not
the
have a current-
DEP?
Yeah, they do not,
So,
they do
again-
not have a current list, I'm not done.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, if that's the DEP, then that DEP would be
I've been talking to them.
regulating that.
Right, and they've been regulating, they're allowed, they they went from 25 inspectors down to 7. So they only have gotten to TFH once in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, once in the last 5 years. So they have online outdated ingredient lists, outdated inventory lists, the outdated permits. They're the rights, I'm not up to that yet. They're also failing to conduct required emission calculations, failing to maintain a monthly visible occupancy record for the cyclone, operating the pelt silo without installation or use of the portable dust collector. They also have not filled out the right to know from 2017. I have not seen one yet for 2018. And by the way, the original permit only allowed them to have 1 silo, 2 dryers, and 3 grinders.
Okay, well,
And now they're
that's,
up to 33.
okay, that's not information that I would have, or, you know.
I will be
if
happy to pass any of this
Yeah,
stuff
if you
onto
have
you
that
guys.
information, more than that, share it with us.
And the
If
supporting
there's something that we
document-
can
We did
do,
share it.
we will do it.
You gotta understand that, like, we did share.
I'm
this
sorry,
with
she's
you.
speaking.
I'm sorry.
She's speaking.
The other thing is, we also have, the chemicals that they have, and they have polyurethane, which is acute, health effects. They have polyurethane, a different one, which is acute health effects. They have sulfuric acid, up to 3,000 pounds of it in stock there,
Okay.
which has acute, hazardous effects. They have glycerin. They have 50,000 pounds of it, which causes acute health effects. They have lead, up to 10,000 pounds, which also causes chronic health effects. And nylon, same thing, 50,000 pounds.
Okay. Like I
Just
said,
so
if
you know, I mean.
If you have that information, please share it with us. If they're storing stuff illegally or,
Well, we've been
There-
sharing
you
at
know.
the Neptune City Homeowners Association, and we've only seen a couple of council people there. So you are invited, it's a nonpartisan meeting. We've been all working together to try to get information.
that's
We are
great.
sharing it there, you guys are more than welcome. What is it, every other Thursday or
Once a month.
Once a
That's
month?
great. That's and again, that was the advice that we can give the residents. You have, as a private citizen, you have more rights, to do this than the governing body. We are given, legal advice and from, any, agencies if they've got violations or not. And we, as the borough, have not received any violations thus far. So if you have information
All you
that
have to
we
do is
can
look on the
help with,
website,
if
look up
you have
BEP
information-
20713 is their, industry, number, that's what they have. You can
That's
look up
great.
anything there.
All right, thank you. And can we get copies of that?
I can send you digitally.
Excellent. If you send it to, Mr. Russell.
I'll give you
Okay.
the card, Dan, so you can turn it over.
Thank you.
Kelly Strass is 3 Overbrook Place. So that brings me back to the inspections with the town. Does the fire inspection not have to go in there every year to check it and ask for the right to know information?
I don't know. I don't want
Because
to speak
I
for the
haven't
fire
been able
marshal.
to find that.
I don't
They
know
should
about
have
that.
that information in case of a
Every
fire.
year.
In case of a fire, they need.
Yeah, I would assume he does, but I don't know.
But if they had that, then that would be the same, you know what I mean?
Mr. Madam, I have a question. You said they haven't been inspected in 5 years, so how do they have that information if they haven't been inspected in 5 years?
This is back, this is
So
back from
that's when-
January,
that's when they were
right,
inspected?
2016.
That's the only-
You don't do that during the
2016.
inspection.
Okay.
They
So
have to
this is
upload
just-
their
This is their own
permits.
reporting? I'm
This
just-
was actually an Oprah request from Bob.
Okay.
I wound up with
Okay.
the information.
All right, very good, thank you.
Yeah, we have several Oprah requests.
We'll be more than happy to get that information and see what we can do with it. Thank you. Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Harry Treskin, Fire Marshal, 35 Evergreen Avenue. Fire inspections are done every year there. We can't do anything about the smell, that has nothing to do with fire prevention.
Do you have a list of the chemicals?
Their chemicals are, as a manufacturing plant, are allowed by the state. They're considered a life hazard use, and they're registered to be able to use those chemicals.
You have a list of them.
It's a very safe place,
Do you have
as
a
far
list
as
of
fire prevention goes.
Do you have a
The
list
question is-
somewhere?
They send a right to know every year, and somebody requested a right to know from the fire chief, and we're looking into the fiscal year 18, right to know.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think they've sent the one for 19 yet.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Please state your name for the record, please.
Joel Pupkin, Inskip Avenue in Ocean Grove. I just wanted to make a comment. I'm very glad that a statement was made at the beginning of the meeting. Social media, as you know, can be great in disseminating information to everyone. It can also be a problem because when people read it, and you'll probably all agree to that it's interpreted different ways. Different people get on there with different comments. And, I've been out of Neptune City as far as working here for a few years, but when people, I don't go on social media, but people were calling me up, 2 or 3 people that said, can't the council do something about this? And I just came to say that, I don't think most people understand the difference between the fire company and the fire department. And the fire company, basically, I don't like to use the word social, but it's a social organization where the fire department is something which is controlled by the mayor and council. And, you know, your tax dollars go to run the fire department, and the fire department, in order to be on the fire department, this governing body has to pass a resolution for those people on there. So they have control over who is a fireman, who's not a fireman. You know, the fire company doesn't necessarily have that option or that control. It's a shame that this issue came up because there were a few people that seemed to be, I wouldn't call smeared in public or whatever, but it was just, you know, something which didn't look good for the town, where you have dedicated people, dedicated firemen, who've been here for a number of years, and because of certain issues of, or in their own lives not being able to make a fire call, you know, that this happened to them. So I just feel sorry for those people, and I think that the issue needed to be clarified of that. Most people don't know that on Laurel Avenue, there's a dividing line over there of, you know, who owns the property. You know, the fire company owns one part of the building. That wall there separates the fire department, which the borough owns, and all the equipment that's in there. So, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions that go on about who controls what and does what. And I just came here to try and clear that up a little bit, if for those people that didn't know.
Well, thank you. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Hopkins was our former borough administrator for 25 years. So some of the things that he said, I'm going to talk about this a little bit now, because I know there was a lot of social media, a lot of talk, a lot of phone calls. My brother, Jim Sestito, and for those of you who didn't know, myself, were the ones that were supposedly thrown out of the fire company on last Monday night. So, as I know with Jim and many other of my brothers that, you know, not only in this company, but in Ocean Grove, I see some guys out there in the Ocean Grove Fire Company, and members of the first aid. First and foremost, when you do this, the last thing it's for is to become a member of any kind of club or a company or a social club. It's to serve the residents. I'm still a firefighter here in Neptune City, have been a long time, and plan on being for a long time. I've been in fires, together with some of you, we've cut people out of cars. I've transported people to Jersey Shore in the ambulance. I've done CPR, saved lives, I've lost some. Had other people's blood all over me, all over my clothes, as many others, and not one single time in the years that I've done this, and as far as I know anybody else that I checked with, not one single person, because lives change. Your lives change, the time that you have available when you have small children versus when you have no children, when you're single, when you're married, when you're working 2 jobs, or when you're working in New York City and you don't get home until 7 o'clock every night. But if you can make one single call, that's one call that you could make as a volunteer. But as I was saying before, all those things you do, I've never remember one single person, from somebody I had done CPR on to someone whose hand I just held over at the hospital. Not one of them ever asked, well, what was your percentage last year? So this was a lot of nonsense. I know it was originally directed at me. Unfortunately, Mr. Sestito, my brother, was a victim of it. It's once again some people with vengeance. When you don't get what you want, you know, you got to try to attack somebody. You got to try to attack people. I'm still here. I'm still standing. Any one of them, anybody's more than welcome. I'm still a volunteer in Neptune City. I will remain to be a volunteer in Neptune City because I care about Neptune City. I care about the fire department. I have my line number tattooed. All right, I am committed to the residents of this town, and that's who I made my commitment to. So when that governing body, along with everybody else years ago, when they passed a resolution to hire me, as the borough ordinance says, to be a firefighter for the residents of Neptune City with no compensation, because that's what we get as a fireman as a firefighter in Neptune City. Big difference, to being a firefighter and just a member of the company. No disrespect to anybody in the company, but there is a difference. You can join the fire company, you don't have to be a firefighter. You can still be a member of the fire company. So, you know, those who were behind this, and I'm gonna use the word, the cowards that orchestrated it from day one, will, you know, those of us who know who they are, the rest of the public will eventually know who they are. I won't state any names in a public meeting, but we all know who they were, who the ones that orchestrated it. So again, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. Don't be surprised if you call the ambulance and I'm the guy who's carrying you down the stairs, or, you know, or if I'm on the truck. And again, sometimes you can go, you know, firemen, you know, I know what it takes. Guys you leave dinner tables, you leave your families, you leave the middle of the night, and you do it because you care about your residents and you care about serving the public. Our volunteers are critical to this community, and for any of them to be treated like this, it's a shame, and shame on anybody who does such a thing. So right now, I want to thank every volunteer that you know, volunteers their time in the borough, especially in emergency services. You know, nobody gets paid for that. You know, and our chiefs here, many former chiefs from the fire department, thank you guys for your support. And you know, I think it's important that the residents know, you know, that what we're really out there for. You know, you want to serve the residents, want to be a fireman. That's first and foremost before anything else. Thank you.
There's a, I would like to comment on that, the council had nothing to do with whatever issue happened. We found out.
Well, I
after-
stated that. The council, you have no say over the fire company. And that's why I'm speaking as the mayor, but I'm speaking as the guy who was attacked. This is, the governing body really has, no disrespect, we have no opinion as a governing body on this. This is the fire company. The fire department is the borough. So yeah, the council has no say on it. I think that's, everybody knows that. They're pretty clear on that. So.
Again, just want to thank our volunteers. What you do is priceless. It really is, and greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
All right, does anybody else in the public wish to be heard? Yes.
I have an alibi. Just so you know, on the tax records for Monmouth County, it shows that their TFH is being taxed at 69,000 square feet. Looking at the building plans, it's 122,000.
I think they have just recently went through a new added assessment.
Okay, because that was from 2015, I think?
Yeah, when they do the added assessment is when they add the additional, I don't think the office building portion of the building is on any of that, so.
Okay, and just so you know, there is a smell ordinance both with the town and with DEP, and they're violating it. If I can smell it all the way over in Ridge Place.
We've been through this. We've
I
been
know,
through
I
it with
understand that, but what I want to say is that people need to call. They can't just complain and not do anything. You have
And
to call
we've been
DEP.
saying that, you call the Monmouth County Health Department.
They said that's the wrong number, the DEP. They said they never get information from them, and the DEP.
Well, that's who we have to call. I mean, you're gonna call the DEP, that's fine,
Yeah.
but, I mean, we could barely get somebody from the health department down here in time. I don't know if they're gonna send somebody from the DEP
They said
down
they
that
would.
quick. So, well, and, you know, give us that number that you're calling. You're gonna get
It's on the
somebody down
website.
there pretty quick.
Yeah, it's on the Facebook site.
Okay, very good, thank you. Anyone else?
Talking about volunteer efforts.
Name and
I'm
address
sorry,
for the
yes.
record, please.
Arlene Sharapa, 14 Tucker Drive, and I'm also with the Shark River Cleanup Coalition. And I just wanted to mention that we did have a cleanup here. We had it at Memorial Park this past Saturday. It turned out to be one of the few beautiful days that we have, and it was very well attended. We wanted to thank Neptune City for offering the site once again to launch our cleanup from that site. We had volunteers from Neptune City residents, Neptune Township, Wall Township. There were Eagle Scouts there. We also had representatives from the Neptune City Council. We had Mr. Coxis, Ms. Renee, Ms. Lewis, Mr. Calhoun. And we know in the past, Mr. Brown, you've been there, as well as Mr. Zajac. So it's nice to see the involvement that we have among the council people in this effort. We also have help from the Monmouth County Clean Communities and Neptune Township, who also provides us with supplies, and we also do get a mini grant from Neptune Township for our efforts as well, because we clean all around the river. Any side of the river also affects Neptune City here as well. We even had residents on Tucker Drive, where I live, who had called up that couldn't get down to the riverside and asked if we would come and clean. And we had a group who got down and cleaned up all the debris that was all along Tucker Drive that backs up to the river there. So I just wanted to mention that and let you know that, you know, some of the good things also that go on in our town as well. So,
Thank you. Thank you for your efforts. There are a lot of good things that go on.
I'm taking a shovel back for that tire. I'm not giving up.
Does anybody else wish to be heard? Okay, seeing none, I need a motion to adjourn. So offered by Mr. Wardell. Second. Second by Mr. Zajac. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you for coming. See you in 2 weeks.
Councilmember, please don't leave anything aside.
Hey, Mr. Stroud, you guys gotta do it other than Saturday. We're working Saturday. We're gonna work at 6 in the morning on Saturday.
I can't wait till I take my tile.
You're a busy guy then.
Yeah, that's one of my 4 jobs. Same thing with the homeowner association. I coach a sport. I
wasn't-
go to it. No, I know. You know, I like it. It's always Saturday mornings. Always Sunday mornings.
That's what we get most people.
I know. I am serving the residents of Neptune City in a different capacity on Saturday mornings.
Okay, I thought he All right, man, you get out of that one. Get out of that one.
Sign everything else, but you just gotta sign that. If you're not signing.
I don't have anything.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
You're being filmed.
That's all right.
Okay.
I'm glad to see you.
Good to see you
I'm glad
too.
to see you had that on there.
Mr. Brown, I document with what I see. I document with what I see. That's what I tell people.
I don't have my car. You do that. Or just run home. You don't want to do that.
Yes.
How good is it?